good morning. Welcome everybody to EnviroPAST. Very excited to have you all today. We're just going to kick off with a quick karakia and mihi, and then we will get into the day. Tūtara mai I runga, tūtara mai I raro, tūtara mai I waho, tūtara mai I roto. Kia tau ai te maritu, te mariora, ki te katoa, homie, huie, tā kia. Kia ora koutou, no mai haere mai. Te whare e te nui, tēnā koe. Te papa e waho, tēnā koe. Ki te mana whenua o tu ropi nei, tēnā koe. Kei te whānau e hui hui nei, tēnā koe. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Holly Norton, toka ingoa. Ko tangata te tuti, no ingarangi me teitau putini o tūpuna. E ku ai tipu aki o ki whakatu e noho ana ki paikakariki. Nō reira, kia ora koutou, kia ora koutou katoa. Kia ora everyone. My name is Holly Norton. I'm going to be your MC here for today. And in that mihi that we just talked about before, I touched on a few kind of key themes. The first was sort of acknowledging the space that we're in today, Victoria University, and just acknowledging that we're going to be in this awesome, safe, warm inside space today, and then sort of coming together outside together to do some volunteering tomorrow and just giving thanks for that space we get to come together and connect and have all of this magic. The second thing I acknowledged was tangata whenua. Very critically, the land that we are meeting on, people who have experienced such huge impacts of climate change already disproportionately and who are very essential voices in the conversation that we're having here today. And finally, I acknowledged all of you guys. Everybody who is here and making this conference amazing today. And you are all so critical to the conversation. The focus of today is on well-being. So while most environmental conferences that I come to and MC at and have conversations around are focused on topics and things that we can take action on, actually the focus of today is on all of you, the energy that you bring, the passion that you bring, and how we really nurture and look after you and your wellness as probably the biggest forces that we have to fight climate change. All of these actions are amazing, but none of them can happen without you. So really acknowledging all of you here today. I think normally MCs at this point kind of make some jokes about, you know, the sacrifices you've all made to get out of bed on a Saturday morning. But I'm not going to do that because I know that for young people in New Zealand at the moment, you make so many sacrifices already that are so much more significant than getting out of bed. It just seems wild in the context of climate change to be making jokes about that kind of thing, particularly in a conference that's focusing on your well-being. So what this conference here today is going to do is, while it is also a space for you to get really, really excited, to connect, get inspired, to take action on things, to meet with other people, spark ideas, it's also a space to be candid and whole in acknowledging the sacrifices that we're all making and acknowledging how really hard it can be sometimes to be on the front line of that climate action in whatever way that looks like for you, whether that's being a tiny voice inside a big organization or a school or an institution trying to make change, or whether that's, you know, going out and getting arrested, whatever climate activism looks like for you. Yeah, this conference is a space to also be angry or sad or fucking exhausted and connect with each other around the realness that is that as well. So before we kick off today, I just want you guys to focus on a quick intention. With this being a well-being focus, the number one goal for you, from my perspective, is that you walk away from here feeling a little bit better, a little bit more well in your well-being than you were coming in. And that is going to look so different for each and every one of you. You know, for some of you, that's going to be, hey, I'm really looking for some ideas. I want to connect with some amazing people. I want us to come out here feeling pumped. For others of you, it's going to be, I'm really tired. I've come here because I care, but I need to find some rest, find some space in this weekend, find someone to connect with who understands how hard this kind of mahi can be. So we're going to do a really quick breathing exercise. You don't have to join in with me, but because it's a well-being focused workshop, I thought I would do it. We're just going to do box breathing if you've done that before. So breathing in for 4, holding for 4, out for 4, holding for 4. We do that 4 times. And in that space, I just invite you to take a second before we get into the day to think, what is my intention? What is the thing I want to come away with that makes me feel that little bit more well over the next few days? And if you don't know what that is yet, that is fine too. You can set your intention just to be discovering that, leaving yourself space to discover that. So if you guys want to stand up, Shake it out a bit. Get some looseness in your body. Nice. James got it. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. And if this isn't for you either, and you just want to take a moment your own way, feel totally free. That's all about well-being as well. So if we just breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. One more time. In 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. And there you go. Shake it out again. Deep breath. When you're ready, take a seat. Cool. Fantastic. Hopefully that helped you feel a little more grounded. You have a sense of what your intention is. And we can get into the exciting part of the day, which is housekeeping. No, I joke, but it's really important to pick up a few key things before we start. So this is me, as I mentioned before. I'm going to be your MC here today. My background has been all over the place. I'm not going to get into it too much because this conference is really about you. But what you need to know is that I'm here to make sure that you have the best space to do whatever that intention was that you set before. And everyone who's wearing an EnviroPAST t-shirt is here to help you do that as well. So if you have any questions, any needs throughout the conference, come and chat to one of us and we will help you get whatever it is that you need. My background has been in kind of climate and social environmental activism over the past 10 years. I've done everything from sort of getting to go to cool places like Geneva and the Korean Demilitarized Zone, doing peace and conflict resolution, and working with a sustainable business network, setting up kind of procurement leaders groups, getting involved in climate activism, was involved in Generation Zero when I was about your guys' age, helped with the Zero Carbonate campaign, ran a social startup for a while that was like Tinder for volunteering, connecting volunteers to all sorts of things. So in some ways, I've had a really, really fun, epic journey. But this topic of well-being is incredibly relevant to me too, because I have definitely suffered burnout, had impacts on my mental health, and I'm still very much learning on how to get the balance right when you care so damn much. So I'm here to be learning with all of you today, and I'm really excited to get the chance to do that. In terms of what is coming up for us, you can see the agenda up on the screen for today. So in a second, I'm going to hand over to James Ramworth, who is a super amazing science communicator. And we're going to hear all about climate change and his new book, which I'm intrigued to hear about. But after that, we're going to get into a morning tea session. The key thing I've noticed about the agenda is that there is just a heck of a lot of Kai. So much amazing Kai coming your way. So I'm excited about that. So have a speaker, on to morning tea. Then after morning tea, you don't come back into this room, you go straight to your workshop. So we'll touch on that at the end of the session, but someone will lead you to what your workshop is. Your lanyards will let you know what your workshops are. I know you've already selected the ones you're keen for. Have a check on there, make sure you know where you're going after morning tea. After that, we come back together and we have a panel that's in this room here, and we're going to hear from a whole bunch of amazing people about basically how they took on activism and climate change in their careers. A whole different range of exciting people who've done really different career trajectories around that. Then we have lunch, best ugly bagels, more Kai, exciting. And then we have a second workshop. So the same thing again, after lunch, you'll look for the person who's going to shuffle you onto the room to do your workshop of choice. Afternoon tea, and then we have a final speaker session with Vokya this afternoon, which is going to be fascinating. And that's it for today. And tomorrow you'll get into your volunteering. You're going to be out helping Forest and Bird, getting really hands-on with your activism, which is amazing. And then we're going to come back here and have a climate clinic, which is pretty cool. And then a final sort of coming together and wrapping up of the conference. So just a few housekeeping bits and pieces. We're going to invite Steve up now to show us a wee video for Victoria University for how to keep us safe and well while we're here. Thanks, Steve.
Kia ora and welcome to Te Herenga Waka, Victoria University of Wellington. In the unlikely event of an emergency, we want to make sure you know what to do. Take a moment now to look around at where the nearest exit is to you. If the fire alarm sounds continuously, evacuate the building using the nearest exit. Act quickly. If you are able, drop to the ground, get under cover and hold until the shaking stops. If there is no cover, put your arms over your head and neck to protect them. Stay inside and gather in one place until it is safe to exit. If your building is unsafe, evacuate. Take your belongings, beware of falling debris, and make your way to a large open space. Follow the guidance of your host. If you feel a strong earthquake that makes it hard to stand up, or a weak rolling earthquake that lasts a minute or more, there could be a tsunami risk. Move immediately to the nearest high ground, or as far inland as you can. Thank you for watching. Your safety is very important to us. We hope you enjoy the event.
Awesome. And I think the only thing wasn't mentioned there was the whalipaku. So if you need bathrooms, if you haven't found them already, if you head back out to the mezzanine that you came from and you sort of walk through behind the desk for the men's bathroom or kind of around that block, to the other side of that block, if that makes sense. Basically out on the mezzanine floor, there's bathrooms for everybody there should we need it. Great. The final thing that I need to let you all know before we get into our speaker today is the app. So have you guys all downloaded the app yet? Yes, lots of nods. Amazing. If you have not, this is the app. Have a look. I'm hearing it's incredibly cool. People are really stoked about it. So make sure you have that. That's going to help you with things like a map for where to go and any sort of updates that you need through the conference. And finally, a big thank you to our event sponsors. So particularly the Wright Family Foundation. I understand they've been sponsoring EnviroPAST for the past few years and making this possible, but also lots of other incredible sponsors, Victoria University for the space, the Jenkins Foundation, Pub Charity Limited, and lots of other sponsors as well. You see Blue Carrot Catering, they're going to bring some amazing pie for us. Forest and Bird hosting our volunteering session tomorrow. Wonky Box, Non-Stop Solutions, they do lots of waste and environmental events. Rethink, Raglan Coconut Yogurt, Soul Fresh Munch, and absolutely positively Wellington City Council. A huge thank you to them all. So a quick icebreaker and then over to James. So given that the focus of this is on well-being, I just want you to turn to the person next to you or the person behind you. If there's someone within reach you haven't spoken to yet today, introduce yourselves and let them know something about you that you're proud of that you have done for your own well-being in the past few weeks. I feel too often we're sort of proud of all the stuff we've achieved, but not the stuff that we've done for us. So I might be saying no to something, that might be having a sleep in, that might be taking action on something you care about. Just have a quick chat. Yeah, there is Wi-Fi. Yeah. You just need a guest pass, I think. Just take guest and it'll let you create a login for you. Hey, hopefully that was enough time. And if you didn't quite get enough time, you'll get a chance through the breaks to get to know each other a bit better. Oh, I hate to break up the conversation because it seems like you're all connecting so well, but we better get on with the workshop. Cool. Okay, and everybody coming back together now. Fantastic. Hopefully that was a good chat. Amazing. Oh, I'm sorry to break it up. Sounds like you're having such fun connecting, but that is great because that is what the rest of the weekend is for.